Right, I'm going to play some Festive Season 2 multiplayer now. It better not be Slipstream, because I need some KDs. Whether it's me or them, who cares? I just need them to happen. I can't hit the button. Okay, I need all of these cars. So let's go. That said, time spent on this today is not as efficient as time spent on it tomorrow or the day after, but you have to get moving at some point. And I say that because you earn more points the higher league you're in, and the later the days are, the easier it is to get to a higher league. What car shall I use first? The SC18. I don't like any of these cars. There's a Philip K. Dick program on Amazon Prime at the moment. So it's called Electric Dreams. It's a TV series, but each episode is individual. They're not connected to one another. They're all brilliant, but the last episode is called Kill All Others. And I saw it a couple of years ago and I thought it was amazing. But I watched it again recently and now I'm just like, it's even better than I realized it was. And it's this story about a future where you have one lead, you still have elections, but you only have one candidate for the election because everyone's agreed that that's the right person to run the country. And they're having a press conference with the candidate, and the press ask her, why are we still having elections if you're the only candidate? And she says, oh, it's so that you all know that your neighbours are there to support you and we're all on the page working towards the same goals, blah, blah, blah. And then the press go, is there anything we should expect from you in the next term, or is there anything people should do? And she says a few things, talks about, I'm making up the details, but she talks about schools, talks about hospitals, then tells people they should kill all others, and then talks about another minor thing. And the press go back to her and say, oh yeah, that's good idea with schools. And there's a guy at home and he's watching it and he's like, did she just say kill all others? And the next day he's asking people, did you notice her say this? And no one's talking about it. And he becomes one of the others by asking the question. And then through the course of this program, they start lynching all the people that aren't in support of the current system. And when I watched this first, I thought it was just a dystopian future, like a warning of a future that we're headed towards. But then I actually think about it more deeply, and it's a metaphor of now. Like it's and the best way to put it now is how we're treating people that have been labelled as anti-vaxxers. Like my rants about the comedians making jokes of anti-vaxxers to satisfy the plebs and agree with the BBC and mainstream media lines. Like that is literally muting their voices. You might as well kill them in terms of their voice, and that is what this was about. We've got one way that's the right way, and if you don't agree, shut up, you don't exist, we're going to laugh your voice out of existence. You should watch it. It's called Kill All Others. It's part of Electric Dreams, and it's based on the books written by Philip K. Dick. It's absolutely incredible. And you should watch all of the episodes. That's episode 10. But don't start at the beginning and then never get to 10. Like, you'll watch all of them, but I mean, you have to watch the last episode, Kill All Others. And you'll probably fall asleep watching it because it's dark. It's dark satire if you watch it very late. And I've overhyped it. It's not like an action movie. It's very scary. And the point is, we're already there. Like 20 years ago, I'm not going to bother with 30 years ago, it was crackheads, you know, a crackhead, his voice didn't matter. Then it was terrorists, we label them as terrorists, then their voice doesn't matter because they're irrational. And now it's anti-vaxxers. I'm just going to chill and then shockwave there, bang. Oh, we're going to meet. Oh. We're gonna crash. Is he gonna bump? No. I think I've told the story about a £17,000 paint job on a hallway in my building. Oh, I live in a very small building. There's only 8 flats, and I think we've had to pay we haven't had to pay it yet, but there's a bill coming, a massive bill for lots of things. But one of the elements you can list as they charged us £20,000 to paint a wall, and all that paint job fell off in one or 2 months after them doing it. All started peeling off, and they're blaming everything but themselves. It's all a problem with the environment. Suddenly the earth has changed and paint doesn't stick to walls like it used to, and how could they possibly have known? And anyway, one section got replaced, got redone by a different company a few months ago, and they stopped the guy doing the last coat when they found out someone was fixing their work. So they managed to put a halt to the work and stop someone fixing their work, because they're responsible for fixing their own mistakes, and their liability period hadn't ended yet. We had to wait a year until their liability period ended. So their liability period ended at the beginning of Jan this year, and suddenly they're back again to look at everything to now try and fix stuff, because we now aren't allowed to blame anything more on them because the liability period's ended. And then a couple of weeks later, like last week, an inspector was going around looking at their work, who clearly wasn't one of their staff, because he looked like he'd been to university and was well dressed. So he was an educated, normal human being, whereas all the contractors for this building company all look like deformed. They're really weird. Like they don't look educated, and they all look strange human beings. But I didn't mean there's any. I've really said something bad about groups of people then, but not about the Axis stuff. I've insulted short people by comparing the builders to them. It's more offensive being called the builders than it is being called short. I'm not very tall, so there's no problem being a dwarf. I just was saying that this one person that was inspecting the building clearly looked like high-level red brick university educated, and this building company are far from that. Anyway, I walk out into my hallway while we're being inspected. That was a good overtake. But this is a slow path on touch drive somehow. Can I get in there? Oh, he's ghosting. Whoa. So I walk out into my hallway while this inspection's going on, and the inspector's looking at the one patch of wall in the building that hasn't been done by the building company, and the building company are just standing behind him while he looks at it and makes notes about how good it is, and and obviously they're not telling him, oh, that's the one bit that we didn't do. They're lapping it up. They're letting him do it, and it was just chance that I walked out at that moment and heard what he was saying, and then had to interrupt and say, excuse me, this section was all completely redone. Please don't mark Axis on that. Have a look at this wall if you want to look at Axis work. And then Axis's face, they just sort of were silenced by the fact that they've just been caught trying to take credit for work that wasn't theirs. But then the one thing he came out with a minute later, and is the manager from this company, were the one thing they came out with in their pride was, oh, I'm the one that halted that. So this little manager just looks at me proudly saying that he's the one that stopped someone fixing our wall. So he's the one that had the power to make us live in filth for years while we wait for them to get around and fix their mistakes. This is comparable. This is exactly the same story that the Grenfell residents were talking about during their refurbishment project. The councils hand over powers to these contractors, and then they just abuse you and terrorize you for the period that they're there, just enforcing their power, like, oh, we've been appointed to fix your walls, so now go inside, shut up and let us work. It's like, gee, and they can't even work. They don't even know how to do anything. They can't plaster a wall. They can't lay brickwork. They can't even sand wood. They can't paint. Oh, utterly incapable bunch of uneducated, untrained, unskilled. Like I've never thought humans were that unskilled. Like, I thought it's hard to find a human that comes out the womb that's born, like as a baby, can do more than some of these staff at these contractors that the council employ. The gardening company is paid to come every 3 weeks. It's been 3 times in a year. The cleaners are paid to come every week. They don't come in the building. They just spend their time cleaning up after the bin men. The bin men are meant to take the rubbish, but they just leave it everywhere for the cleaners to clean up. And I pay council tax, and I pay extra taxes for living in a building that's owned and operated by the council. I should just sell it. I can buy a yacht. Just live in the yacht. I can buy a castle in Scotland for the cost of this dump. I'm not going to catch him. If you talk to neighbours about a problem they have, lots of neighbours will always have problems. If I talk to them about something I'm stressed about, they'll tell me what they're stressed about. And then I'd sort of say, you should tell someone about that. And they just go sort of, I don't have it in me to complain. And I don't know how everyone knows in advance that if you complain, you're going to get attacked. Like the process that we have here is, if you complain about someone, the council will forward your complaint to the person you're complaining about, and then whoever you're complaining about will call you up to tell you why you're wrong. If you then carry on complaining, you'll be told you're crazy. If you make 2 complaints, man, you're a lunatic. And they basically just handle you until you go away. And they just can't believe I haven't gone away on an issue. It's like, why haven't you gone away? Do you need mental health support? Like, everyone's normally given up by this point. Why are you still here complaining? Ah, I've got someone ghosting behind me. I was waiting for the nudge. I didn't mean to go that shallow though. Oh! It's on my tail. Fourth, but that was a fun race. I think it's my last fuel. Now I've got 2. I'm exhausted. I've exhausted myself just venting. Like, I'm so exhausted having to voice all these different arguments all the time about tiny little things that shouldn't matter. But everything, it's like, why are police helicopters, I don't complain about police helicopters, but why are they so loud and ambulance helicopters so quiet? It's like they'd intentionally made them loud to dominate people. And the same way, and that's how the bin crews are using their trucks to dominate people, because they've got to live with that noise all the time anyway, because they're stuck in the truck. So they're like, they want everyone else to hear the noise and feel it and be in pain. Where am I going? I wanted to go right. I'm not paying attention. It won't matter much unless I get KD'd at this junction here. Now. Like that. That's why I would normally always go the other way. It's sort of learned experience if that's not safe. I'm completely exhausted. I need to stop after this race. I can't go to sleep though. If I fall asleep, a truck is guaranteed to come with a klaxon on and give me more and I can't explain it. And mate, yeah. It's like something they would do to someone at Guantanamo Bay. Is every time they fall asleep, start setting alarms and bashing iron bars above their face. Oh no, that car, get out of the way. Momentum. I was braking beforehand to make sure I had the speed to go through there if there was traffic. And then I want to stay on shockwave here for safety through that section. Hit that late and turn the nitro off so you don't go over the fence. This guy's scary as hell. Yeah! It was nitro management to catch up with him. That was fun. Why is my signal bad? It's not bad. Well, I'm going to pass out. Good luck, guys. I'm madder than you.